heart, my soul, like it was a gift you'd keep. I watched you take it in your hands and toss it at your feet. I let you shape me like clay. I let you bend me into what you wanted. But when I was done molding myself, you just left me haunted. I thought love was supposed to build me up, but all it did was break me. I've been burned by your love like fire that it never dies. I've been left with the ashes of all the things you never tried. You promised me forever, but forever didn't stay. Now I'm just burned by your love, and I'm learning how to walk away. I gave you everything I had, like it was never enough. I gave you my trust and I tried to be tough, but your words were like flames and your touch like ice. I was loving in the heat while you kept pushing me to the side. I thought we could survive the storm, but the rain just never stops. I've been burned by your love like the scars I try to hide. I gave you all of me and you just left me behind. You said we were fire, but I was only the smoke. Now I'm burned by your love, and I'm learning to let it go. You never asked me if I was okay, you just took what I gave. You left me with nothing but memories and a wave. I tried to carry us both, but I was carrying the weight of a love that was always breaking, that was never meant to stay. I loved you too much, but I never loved myself. I lost who I was just to keep your love on the shelf. I thought I was enough, but you didn't feel the same. I'm burned by your love, but I won't play this game. I've been burned by your love, but I won't let it destroy me. I'll rise from the ashes, I'll break free and finally see I gave you all of me, but you never gave it back. Now I'm burned by your love, and I'm taking my life back. I'm walking away from the fire, I'm leaving the past behind. I'll heal from the burns you left, and I'll find peace in my mind. I've been burned by your love, but I won't let it be the end. I'll start over, find myself again, and maybe love will come again. Beside you quietly, hoping you notice me. I gave you all my colors while you stayed black and white. I dimmed my own light so yours could shine through. But every time I reached for you, I found I barely knew. I became a than your size. I learned how to laugh with you while dying inside. Every word I wanted to speak, I swallowed whole. I became invisible to protect my soul. I thought patience was love, but love shouldn't feel so small. I've been fading in your shadow, waiting for you to care. I've been lost inside the echo of a love that's never there. I gave everything quietly, hoping you'd see, but I'm just fading in your shadow where you'll never notice me. I stayed when my heart was breaking, smiled when I wanted to cry. I let the night stretch endlessly while asking myself why. I convinced myself you loved me by the little things you gave, but love isn't crumbs and life isn't meant to cave slow. Maybe one day you'll see the person I tried to be. I gave all of me, and you gave none of your heart. I let myself shrink so you could remain tall, but even shadows deserve light. After all, I replay every moment, every look, every word, trying to understand the silence I've heard. I faded too slowly, I stayed too long, but even in shadows I can grow strong. I've been fading in your shadow, hoping for a spark. I've been loving quietly while wandering in the dark. I gave everything quietly, hoping you'd see, but I'm learning to step out of your shadow finally. The air feels lighter now, my chest isn't as tight. I don't need your attention to feel like I'm right. I'm finding my colors again, painting them boldly and free. I was fading in your shadow, but now I'm learning to be me. I've been fading in your shadow, but I'm stepping into the light. I'll love more fiercely without losing sight. I gave everything quietly, and now I see I'm more than your shadow. I'm finally me. I used to break like thunder, now I fall like rain. I learned how to hide my hurt inside a smile that feels the same. You taught me how to disappear while standing in plain sight. I cry softer now, so nobody hears. I fold my pain into laughter and swallow my tears. I cry softer now, like it's all okay. shades of gray. The mirror knows my secrets, but it never tells. It watches me pretend I'm fine in my own private hell. I cry softer now. I don't make a sound. I let my heart break slowly, so I don't break down. One day I'll be loud again. One day I'll feel whole. But tonight I'm just surviving with a shattered soul. I cry softer now, but it still hurts the I learned how to whisper my feelings so they wouldn't scare you away. I folded my needs into corners and promised myself I was okay. I watched you shine without trying, while I dimmed every part of my light. I told myself love was patience, even when it didn't feel right. I mistook silence for safety and pain for loyalty. I loved you quietly, so you wouldn't leave. I shrank my heart into pieces so you could breathe. I swallowed every helmet, every tear I cried silently. I loved you loudly inside, but I loved you quietly. I memorized all of your moves, like storms I had to outrun. I smiled through cracks in my armor, pretending the damage was none. I made excuses for your distance, called it space, called it time. I was bleeding in patience, you were doing just fine. I held on to maybes like they were promises. I loved you quietly, I stayed out of the way. I told myself wanting you less was the price I should pay. I became easy to lose so you wouldn't notice me. I disappeared in plain sight, 'cause I loved you quietly. I stopped asking for answers, stopped asking you to stay. I learned how to read your silence like it was something kind to say. I called loneliness understanding, I called neglect being strong. I stayed when my heart was screaming that something here was wrong. I loved you quietly, through the nights I cried, through the moments I needed you, but swallowed my pride. I made myself smaller so you'd feel complete. I gave you my everything, and you barely noticed me. And maybe you never asked me to lose myself like that, but love shouldn't feel like fading or constantly holding back. I mistook surviving for loving and endurance for trust. I gave you all of my softness, you gave me silence heartbreaking, then I did it every day. I kept choosing your comfort while my own slipped away. I wonder who I'd be now if I chose me, if I said I'm hurting instead of I'm fine. Really, I wonder how much of me I buried to stay in a love that asked me to slowly decay. I loved you quietly, but it nearly destroyed me. I gave you a version of myself you never truly saw fully. I begged without speaking, I stayed without being free. I loved you the only way I knew how, but it cost too much of me. I'm learning how to speak again, learning I deserve to be heard. I'm teaching my heart that love shouldn't hurt. I loved you quietly, but I won't do that again. I'm choosing myself now. This is where healing begins. I stay when the room felt colder, when your eyes stopped looking for mine. I told myself love gets heavy, that silence was part of the sign. I counted the days and excuses, I counted the nights in tears. I kept forgiving the moments that confirmed my deepest fears. I kept hoping you'd change while I was fading away. I stayed too long in a love that felt wrong. I kept holding on when I should have been gone. I made myself strong just to survive. I stayed too long and lost parts of my life. I learned how to read between words, how to accept being last. I called neglect understanding, and the present lived in the past. You never raised your voice in me, you didn't have to be cruel. You hurt me with indifference and left me feeling a fool. I waited forever, you waited for nothing. I stayed too long, trying to belong. I bent every rule just to prove I was strong. I ignored my heart when it begged me to run. I stayed too long when the damage was done. I watched myself grow quieter, watched my laughter fade. I stopped sharing my thoughts in case they got in your way. I loved you with open hands, you loved me with what was left. I gave you my honesty, you gave me distance instead. I stayed too long through the doubt and the pain. I kept hoping tomorrow wouldn't feel the same. I blamed myself when you pulled away. I stayed too long and paid every day. Love shouldn't feel like waiting for someone to choose you again. It shouldn't feel like convincing or starting over at the end. I mistook comfort for safety, I mistook history for truth. stayed because leaving scared me more than staying ever did too. I remember the night I realized I was alone with you there. You were close but unreachable, like you didn't really care. That's when my heart started packing, even though my body stayed. I was already grieving. Before I walked away, I asked myself quietly, is this all I deserve? I answered with silence, and that answer hurt. I loved you with loyalty, I lost myself instead. I kept choosing you while abandoning me. I stayed too long, but I learned the cost of loving someone at all. Personal loss. I won't beg for attention or fight to be seen. I stayed too long, but now I choose me. I don't hate you, I just finally see love shouldn't require you to disappear completely. I stayed too long, but I'm letting go. And for the first time in years, I finally feel whole. Her room still smells like yesterday, like words you meant but didn't say. Your shadow sleeps across the floor. I step around it, nothing more. I keep the light on just in case you wander back to this empty place. It's quiet where you left me, too quiet to breathe. Every wall remembers what you couldn't keep. I'm learning how to live with half of a dream. It's quiet where you left me. Your name still echoes in my chest, a heartbeat that won't get its rest. I try to burn our photographs, but even ash knows what we had. It's quiet where you left me, like love learned how to freeze. I scream into the silence, and silence screams at me. I'm standing in the wreckage of who I used to be. It's quiet where you left me. If missing you was honesty, I'd never lie again. If healing means forgetting, I'd thought time would heal it, but it's only made me wait. I gave you all my seconds while you kept pushing me away. I've memorized every silence like it's something I should trust, but every soon you promised me just turned into dust. I kept waiting for the moment when you'd see me for who I am. I'm still waiting for you to love me, still waiting for your touch. I've been holding on to nothing and pretending it's enough. I stayed for every maybe, but it was always not yet. I'm still waiting for something that you'll never regret. I try to be everything you never asked me to be. I try to fill every gap like love was a broken key. I gave you my heart in pieces. You said it wasn't the right time, but I didn't know how to leave when I was still trying to climb. I thought waiting meant devotion, but it's just losing yourself. Quietly, so you wouldn't feel the weight of a love that was heavy, of a love that couldn't wait. I made excuses for the silence and the words you left unsaid, but I can't keep pretending that I'm not slowly dead. You never meant to hurt me, but I'm not sure you ever saw the pieces of me breaking while you were lost in your flaws. I waited for an answer, I waited for your touch, but waiting is no longer love. It's just holding on too much. I'm still waiting for you to choose me, still waiting for the love that should have come so easily, but I've had enough. I gave you my all and waited for your best, but I'm still waiting for something I'll never get. I thought love meant staying and hoping they'd change, but love shouldn't feel like this, love shouldn't be this strange. I'm learning how to let go, learning how to be free. I've waited long enough, now it's time for me. I'm still waiting, but I'm learning to stop. I'm still waiting, but my heart has to drop. I gave you everything, but you couldn't see. I'm still waiting for something, but it's time to set me free. I'm not waiting anymore, I'm walking away. I'm learning that some love isn't meant to stay. I'm still waiting for closure, kept waiting for the words, but you never spoke a thing. I filled the space with whispers, hoping you'd hear them ring. I thought love was loud enough to make you feel it too, but the silence between us became the loudest truth. I tried to fill the quiet, but the quiet filled me instead. When the silence speaks, it says everything I'm scared to hear. It tells me I've been holding on to a love that disappeared. I keep waiting for something that's never coming back. When the silence speaks, it shows me the cracks. I used to listen for the sound of your heartbeat in the night, but now all I hear is echoes, and they just don't feel right. I gave you all my words, but you didn't need them then. Now I'm left here wondering where my voice began and ends. I thought you'd fill the silence, but the silence filled my soul. When the silence speaks, it tells me I'm not enough. It says I've been broken, trying to hold on to love. I gave you everything I had, but it's never been enough. When the silence speaks, it reminds me I'm not loved. The quiet tells the stories that we never dared to say. It paints a picture of my heart that you left along the way. I thought we could keep talking, but you stopped speaking to me. Now I'm trapped in the echoes of all the things I can't see. When you don't speak, it's louder than any fight. I'm drowning in the silence as I lose myself tonight. When the silence speaks, it says all the things I never knew. It tells me you've been gone, even when I'm holding on to you. I gave you every part of me, but you never gave it back. When the silence speaks, I hear everything I lack. When the silence speaks, I find the strength to let it go. It tells me it's time to heal, it's time to let you go. I gave you my everything, but you never felt it, did you? When the silence speaks, I finally hear the truth. The silence isn't empty now, it's my chance to breathe. I'll fill it with my own voice and let the past leave. When the silence speaks, I'll listen to what's inside, because the quiet doesn't hurt me now. It's where I find my pride. before you said it, in the way you stopped asking why, in the space between your answers, in the way you wouldn't try. I started lowering my expectations so I wouldn't feel the fall. I convinced myself less love was better than none at all. I kept shrinking my needs so you wouldn't notice them. You loved me less and I loved you more. I kept unlocking doors you were already walking toward. I stayed through silence, I stayed through stress, I gave you my best while you loved me less. You stopped seeing my tears even when they were clear. I learned how to cry quietly so you wouldn't hear. You said you needed distance, I gave you space and time. The distance became permanent and time was never mine. I kept waiting for effort, you kept waiting for nothing. You loved me less with every day. I kept forgiving what you wouldn't change. I held on to memories when hope was a mess. I gave you my heart, you loved me less. You loved me less. I remember when loving you didn't feel like a fight, when your arms felt like home and the dark felt like light. Now I sleep on my side of what used to be us, holding on to the pieces that time turned to dust. You loved me less and I blamed myself. I tried being quiet, I tried asking for help. I thought if I changed you'd choose me again, but love shouldn't hurt like this in the end. I don't think you meant to break me, I think you just stopped trying. You didn't walk away loudly, you left while you were smiling. I stayed because I believed in who you used to be, but love in a memory destroyed the rest of me. I stayed up late questioning what I did wrong, replayed every conversation like a sad song. I begged myself to let go, but fear kept me close. I loved you at my fullest, you loved me almost. If love is a choice, you made yours clear. You chose your comfort while I chose fear. I don't hate you, I just confess I deserve more than loving you less. You loved me less, but I loved me more. I finally closed that broken door. I won't chase affection or accept neglect. I loved you deeply, you loved me less. You loved me less. I'm learning the difference between lonely and free. I miss what we were, but I found what I need. You loved me less and I let you go. That's the bravest thing I've ever known. Your ghost sleeps on my Your ghost knows my name, it calls me at night, reminds me of promises you couldn't fight. Your ghost holds my hand when I'm in pain. You left me alone, but your ghost stayed. I talk to empty corners, like you might answer back. I'm loving a memory that I can't have. I don't need closure, I need release from loving someone who's not here with me. Your ghost knows my name.